Hello, one and all. I am bringing back, single-handedly, may I add, I'm bringing back the favourites video. I love favourite videos. I've always have loved them and I love watching them on TikTok, and I was going to make a reel or a TikTok about it, and then I realised I've so much and I can't condense that into like 90 seconds for Instagram. And then I was like, oh, well then I won't do it. And I remembered YouTube, hello, that's what YouTube is for. So bring back favourite videos to YouTube first off, and second of all, here are mine. I'm going to try and keep it as short and sweet as I can, but we all know I love to ramble on and on. Mostly realise this when I'm editing and I'm screaming at myself being like, shut up! So anyway, I've got a couple of different categories. I've got beauty, fashion, home. They're the main categories. Some gadgets. And yeah, let's start. Okay, I'm gonna start with beauty because I have the products down. I brought them down. Number one is hair mousse. Okay, now I have not really delved into the world of hair mousse. I'm pretty much a noob when it comes to hair products. I really don't use them that much, and I understand that is why, like, well, put it this way, my hair doesn't hold styles very well. Some hairdressers have told me that's because I don't use enough product. I would disagree, because I know my hair stylist Matthew, when he does my hair, he just be putting loads of products in and it looks fantastic, but it still doesn't last, and that is no fault of his own. It's just my hair. Okay, if there's anyone who can make a curly blow dry last, it is Matthew, and it just doesn't last on my hair. Okay, but what will make it look better for longer and style better is mousse, and I've been using this one, which is the L'Oreal Elnet Volume Stronghold Cream Mousse. Oh, this one. I love it. I think it really helps, especially my bangs. My bangs are at a length now where I need to make a decision. Am I going to keep growing them out? Am I going to cut them shorter? I don't know yet. So let me know. I need an impartial review. Does it suit me better to have hair all one length? Haven't had that in years. Or should I just keep it with the face framing layers? I don't know. Anyway, this has been helping me with my air wrapping journey. And whenever I use it and whenever I air wrap, I do get compliments on my hair. Now, I will say, I only ever get compliments on my hair when it's like freshly washed and done. I mean, I think that's everyone. Everyone's like, oh, your hair. And I'm like, guys, it doesn't look like this every day. Trust me. But this definitely helps. I put it in my whole hair, not just the root, the whole thing, especially with a curl, bouncy blow dry. I'm not going to lie and tell you it lasts all day, but it lasts longer than it does without, and that's all that matters. Oh my God, my favorite perfume, Memo Paris Inverness. It is so gorgeous. And look, okay, I've said this before on TikTok, when I did a TikTok about the perfumes that I really enjoy. I will say my perfumes are not very much complimented. And let me make my claim, okay? I'm gonna slam my gavel. I think a lot of perfumes, especially on women that are complimented by other women, tend to be really sweet, girly, or floral perfumes. And I am personally not that into that smell. I can understand how, like, when you hug someone and they smell like that, you can go, oh, they smell nice. But like, I personally don't want to smell like that. It's just I was going to say flavor profile, but like the scent profile that I enjoy isn't that. I prefer more masculine, unisex, sandalwood, patchouli. I do like vanilla. If I'm going to go a little bit girlier, that would be the girliest I'd go. And there's some other notes that always pop up. Incense. That's not one of the ones I'm talking about though, that I can't really pronounce that well, so I'm not going to try, but I recognize them when I look up the notes. Does that make sense? But anyway, Inverness, to me personally, this smells like an espresso martini. So there is a bit of sweetness to it, which is an unusual sweetness, but I don't think it's a sweetness, like, it's a little bit gourmand, but I'm not big into gourmand, so take that lightly, you know. It's leathery. It's kind of, I don't know, it smells like vanilla bean, but coffee bean, but also leather. I've just said those things over and over again. It's very hard to smell in the sense of like accessibility in Ireland. They only sell this in not Ashford Castle, Adair Manor, which is where I got it. So you might have to order a sample if you want to smell it. But I do know that the owners of this brand are a couple, and one of them is Irish, the man. And they name all of their perfumes after like a trip they've taken. And Inverness is in Scotland. So yeah, that it's just, sorry, my entire spiel there. Sorry, I am so bad sometimes at like keeping a thought. My point about being complimented on your scents. A lot of my scents, I don't get a lot of compliments on. And I think it's because I don't go for a very girly scents. But people who do like the kind of scent I like will compliment them. But this is my most complimented scent of all time. Anytime I wear it, I get people being like, oh my God, that's amazing. That smells so good. That smells so good. That smells so good. Constantly. Which makes me feel like I've won something, because I have a lot of scents that I adore. No one compliments them though. I don't really care because I know I smell good. But this is a complimented scent. So it's a crowd pleaser, but it is also interesting. Because sometimes the crowd pleasers aren't interesting. I like an interesting scent. Okay, let's move on. Okay, in the book category, I actually have like two favorites into one, because my favorite book that I read in January was an audiobook. And now look, I have kind of mixed emotions around audiobooks, because sometimes I see people, and this could just be like me being maybe a little bit elitist, okay? I'm just gonna own it. People being like, I read 470 books this year, and every single one of them I know that bitch is listened to on Audible when they're driving in their car. Do you think Audible books should count towards your reading goal? Yes, I do, personally, okay? Because didn't they do a study, or did I just read this on Reddit? But I think there's a study done where it's like the same parts of your brain are, oh my God, my hair. The same parts of your brain or something are like stimulated when you read a book and when you listen to a book. Long story short, I listened to a book this month. God, why do I take so long to get to the fucking point? I'm sorry. I listened to The Shards by Bret Easton Ellis, and it was fantastic. I'm still really fussy when it comes to audiobooks. A minute irritation in the person's voice it could be the best book ever and I won't listen. This is narrated by the author, which isn't always a good thing. But Bret Easton Ellis is a podcaster. I mean, he's much more than a podcaster. He obviously wrote American Psycho, but he is a very interesting guy. He is very theatrical as a person, so he knows how to read a book. He's not just going to give you a basic reading. He's acting, and it was so good. If you like The Secret History, you have to read this. So Bret Easton Ellis actually went to college with Donna Tartt and helped her get The Secret History published, which I found interesting reading this book. The book centers around, it's a character by his own name. Bret Easton Ellis does love to do autofiction. So it's a auto fiction, which is autobiographical fiction. Parts of his life in this are true and parts that aren't true. And the fun part is guessing what is true and what is not true. But it centers around a group of kids in the 80s, teenagers. They're like turning 18 in their final year of high school. And there is a serial killer on the loose. And Bret and his friends, according to Bret, are the subject of the serial killer's obsession. There's so much sex in this book. And I'm not one of these people who, I do not care for erotic fiction. I don't really care. I know a lot of people are like, is the book spicy? I don't need that. But this was great. Loads of gay sex, loads of forbidden gay sex, which is probably, if I'm going to read something with a lot of sex, I, for some reason, like it to be gay sex. I don't know why. Just the straight sex. I think it's the way that sex is written for straight women always comes across a little I don't know, it's a little corny to me. The gays write about sex in a much more primal manner, which I enjoy. Yeah, it's just a fantastic book. The way he narrates it is amazing. It's really, really long, but it was almost like having an incredible podcast to listen to every single day. I think the book is about 800 pages long. The audiobook was 24 hours long. I read it over a month and couldn't put it down. Got me out of the house a lot. Incredibly engaging. I gave it 5 stars. I think I did anyway. It was fantastic. I have some home favorites. Actually, this chair could be one. This is a new chair that Evan and I bought, but I can't really be bothered getting up and showing you the chair, so I'm not going to include it. Number 1 is my Dyson vacuum. This is definitely up there with the best things I've ever been sent as a PR gift. Backstory, and for full transparency, they actually reached out and were like, do you want the new hair straightener, like the one that blow dries your hair straight? And as we all know from my earlier rambling, I don't need any help with keeping my hair fucking flat as a pancake, okay? And also, like, there's only so many tools a girl can use. You know, I have the air wrap, which I adore. I have the hair straightener, don't really adore. It's handy, but it doesn't do much for me. So do I need an air straight? Absolutely not. So what I did do was go, guys, I'm actually okay for the air straight. What I would love, if there's any chance, is a new vacuum cleaner, because we actually needed a vacuum cleaner at the time. And they sent me I believe it's the V15. It's so good. If you have a dog and you can get this vacuum cleaner with the fucking laser on it, guys, it is a game changer. It will change your life. The amount, and Elle isn't even like a shedding kind of dog, even though she's so fluffy. People are always surprised at that. Like, she's not the type of dog that you touch and you're shedding all over you, but she does get like fur balls everywhere, not like coughed up ones, but just like puffs of hair are everywhere, especially if she needs to be brushed or groomed. And oh my God, I hoover my house twice a day now. I used to be, and I don't know if this is bad, I'd hoover once a week, like the big clean, you know, you do a big clean once a week. I hoover, guys, twice a fucking day. And it has a mop on it. And at first I was like, oh, this mop won't be like, I might just use it for like little touch-ups, but not for no, it's used for the big clean. It's so good. It's so quick. It dries fast. Like, I can hoover my whole fucking house with my Dyson in 15 minutes. That is unheard of. I cannot believe it. It's my favorite thing ever. I love it. And I would buy it a million times over. Now that I know the power of it, like, it's so good. I don't think I can ever go without one now. Amazing. Second home item, I can't show you again. I'll put in a floating picture of it here, is the Sage coffee machine that I got Evan for Christmas. Now, look, if you are not buying your significant other, especially if you live with them, presents that have mutual enjoyment, what the fuck are you doing? I understand the like getting someone a beautiful piece of jewelry, getting someone a gorgeous, you know, cologne, all these things. That's fine for the first like 5 years of your relationship. After a while, you're like, bitch, what am I getting you? Like, what do we need for the house? And in fairness, Evan has wanted a Sage machine for a long time. But last year, with the amount of expenses we had in the house, we couldn't really justify, because they're expensive. Okay, they're like over €1,000. Okay, now I got mine Black Friday sale. So I think it was meant to be like, as I said, like €1,300. Oh my God. But I think I got it for 800, which is still really expensive. But the way I justified it was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, think of like €500 for a Christmas present. And then, you know, a Christmas present kind of for myself as well. And also, Evan spends a lot of money on coffees. I know he does. He doesn't like to admit this, but like, he's in town every day and I know he's buying coffee for himself every morning. So like, that's like a £5 every day, €20 a week, €100 a month, €1,200 a year. So that's like paid off in a year, you know? So that's how I justified it. And in fairness, I have not bought a coffee out since I got that machine. Because if I'm going into town now, I'll have a coffee before. I don't want one in town. Like, I might the odd time if I'm with someone, but like, I'm not buying myself one. And it's so good. I got the Barista Touch. And the reason I got that one is I know that there's like, you can get all into the coffee and like how to steam the milk. And I just wanted something that like took the guessing out of it for me, but could still make a really beautiful espresso or like a flat white, because like fucking espresso machines, honestly, like I had one for a while and they're grand. But like, if you're gonna, I wouldn't spend more than 100 or maybe €200 on an espresso machine, because you have to then buy the pods. And I know I have to buy the coffee, but I get way more out of that. Like, Nespresso is kind of a multi-level marketing scheme. They're handy. I have one. If anyone wants a free one, I have one in my garage. They're grand. But like, if you actually want a good cup of coffee, like a real good cup of coffee, you need to be buying an actual espresso machine. Haven't bought a coffee out since. It's taken the guesswork out because it has like a sensor for the milk. It foams the milk properly. The coffee, I'm still kind of dialing it in, as they say. Like, I'm still like kind of trying to perfect how I pull my espresso, but like, so far, like, it still tastes incredible. It tastes the exact same as the coffee I've got out anywhere else, and I love it. I love my Sage machine. I actually genuinely look forward to my cup of coffee in the morning, and sometimes I let myself have a second one, which I think I'm going to do today. Yay. Oh yeah, I have one more thing. Finally, for home, this motherfucking candle, bitch. Oh, now, this brand is such an underrated Irish brand. I never hear people talk about them. Oh my God. Clune Keen, okay. They're an Irish perfumer. And actually, I got turned on to them by my friend Yusuf, because when my friend Devin was over one year, Yusuf is a friend of ours and he studies perfumery in Paris. Okay, and Devin asked him like, oh, like what perfume should I get in Ireland, you know, or like what can I get there that I can't get other places, blah blah. And Yusuf was like, you should go to Clune Keen because they're an Irish perfumer and like their perfumes are really, really fucking well priced and are so interesting, and they do amazing candles too. Okay, this is their Christmas candle they bring out every year, called Noble Fir. Now, it doesn't smell Christmassy to the point where like I'm burning it in January. I started burning it in December, obviously, and you're like, okay, I need to put that in the cabinet until next year. This smells like a fucking incredible church. Like, you know, when you go into a church, I was just back from Rome. You know, when you go into a church in Rome and they've been lighting some incense and you're like, bitch, what kind of like Catholic magic incense do you have? And I fear this is the scent. Now, I believe that like Noble Fir is the name of the Christmas trees that smell really nice. It doesn't smell like a Christmas tree. It just smells like, it almost smells like an amazing Christmas tree within a Catholic church in Rome while they're burning the sacred incense. And it's amazing. And I love their scents too. Roisin Dove is a scent that I really want from them. Devin has it whenever I smell it when he's over. I'm like, oh, that is amazing. And his brother Max got it when they were over last, so I might need to pick that up. And I think like it's like for 100 ml, I think it's like €130, which is really fucking good for like a niche perfumer. Really good value. I love that candle. And they bring it back. They only bring it back out at Christmas, and it's really hard to get because they sell out fast. But this year they bought more than usual. And I went in and I was like, it was like 4 days before Christmas. I was like, you have Noble Fir? They were like, yep. I was like, can I have? I think I bought 2 of them because I got my friend Christina one for Christmas. Anyway, it's fantastic. Let's move on to, I believe, fashion is next up. 2 pairs of shoes. One, I'm going to take it off my foot. I bought Uggs in Lidl. I bought these fucking Uggs in Lidl, guys, and I'm obsessed with them. I am beyond obsessed because, okay, I'm going to put this back on because I was just out walking with a dog, so I don't really want to hold that, but I had a pair of Uggs. I've had Uggs, many pairs of Uggs, but my last pair of Uggs, I lost them. I know, how does one lose a pair of Uggs? But I'll tell you. So myself and Evan were staying in a hotel, and my Uggs, when we were packing up the taxi, my Uggs didn't fit my bag, and I left them in the boot, basically. I left them in the taxi, and they were pretty much brand new. And Uggs are so expensive. And so I went to go buy new ones because I love them when I have them. I went to go buy ones so many times over. And I was like, am I really doing this, guys? Like 100 and something euro for something that's basically slippers, but I do wear them outside. And then one day I was in Lidl and I saw these and I was like, €10, hell yeah. And they're incredible. Like, they're so much better than like, you know, the Pennies ones. I have them as well. The Pennies ones just have like such a foam sole. Like, they just, no, they're purely for indoor wear. These ones are pretty much like the Uggs, so soft on the inside, so toasty on my tootsies. The only bad thing is that like I don't want to wear anything else ever. Like, I put these on my feet, nothing else is going near. Like, I dread having to put anything else on my feet because they're so warm and like, oh, they're just so comfortable. And when I take them off, even to sit on the couch, like I'm like, oh, and I'm usually a shoes off in the house kind of person, but I do wear my Uggs, and it's really annoying because they do leave rubber marks on my floors and Evan goes crazy. Second pair of shoes, I showed you these on my YouTube before, but I'm going to give you a review of them now. These are the Vagabond loafers that I bought. Okay, so story time in case you missed it. I ordered the size 6, which were huge on me. Went to Vagabond being like, can I exchange them? And they were like, oh, they're discontinued. And I was like, you're joking. So I had to send them back and got a refund. And then I saw on Zalando, they still had these in a 5 and they're perfect. These are so comfortable. I actually wore these around Rome, not the big walking day now, the day we did the Colosseum, but the first day we got there, I walked these all around Rome, no blisters to be seen. I wore them on the plane. They are heavy, but like they're so comfortable. I just love them. Now, do you know what I hate? Let me see if I can do this. I hate it when, you know, when you see creators and they hold their shoes and they put their hand, ugh, I would never do that. I can't stand when people do that. I'm like, stop touching the sole of your fucking shoe, you sick freak. Anyway, I love these shoes. They just go with everything. I don't know why I'm showing you that, but they go with everything. And they're so comfy and stylish and real leather. And I'll be buying more from Vagabond. That is my takeaway. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I mean, top line, I would say Lady Gaga's new song, Pause Up, we're back. We're so back. It's incredible. I'm very excited for that album. I'm excited for Lana's new album in May. We've got a lot of great new music, great new films out. But nothing else off the top of my head that's really stood out as a monthly favourite for January. So that's about it. Bring back favourites videos. Let me know if you like them. I'll be back very soon. Bye.